a great day to be in life now. I am your host, Coach TMB, and we are in for a great show on today. Sitting next to me, we have Ms. Edye Evans Hyde. She is a jazz legend. She is the 2011 West Michigan Jazz Society Award winner. She is the founder of Ebony Road Players, and I'm telling you, she's just a gem. And so it's an honor for me to have you on the show today.
Well, thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
You are so welcome. So listen, Edye, I'm trying to, keep myself together, but I'm so excited because I was sharing with you earlier that I have been following you, and I didn't realize that you were still here in the city. I was thinking you were somewhere far away from Grand Rapids. That's amazing.
Well, this is my home.
This is home.
This is home, and this is where I love to be. Occasionally, I go out and travel, and occasionally, do a few gigs here and there out of the country or across the country or whatever. But I just have a wonderful family here, and I like being here. But I also like getting out and doing some things too.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
I'm sure you do. So listen, Edye, you have been in the music industry for a little over 30 years.
Yes.
What has that experience been like? Can you give us a peek into what that looks like?
Well, one, it's a blessing. I love it. I've loved every opportunity I've had, but a lot of it had to do with any opportunity that I have to perform. That's what I like to do. So it's either jazz or theater or so I've been all over the country doing things. And I think once you find something that you really love, time just goes by. I can't believe that I've actually been performing for that long. So time just, what you know, what you love is what you love.
What you love. You've already just shared a wonderful nugget about doing something that you love. And we have a lot of people that are looking at you speak right now. So look into that camera right now and talk to the people about going after what they love.
I think that when you go after something you love, whether it's art, whether it's business, whether anything, it's your life. It's what you live for. And I believe that you just don't get up and just go to work because you know you got to make the money.
Right.
You get up, you go to work because you want to make a difference in your life, you want to make a difference in other people's lives, and I feel the arts allows me to do that with people. So I think you should always strive to do what you love.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, you have such a plethora in your knapsack when it comes to
the
music.
Bag, right?
Yeah, in the bag. As a young girl growing up, did you always know that you had a thing for music?
I knew that I loved music. I knew that I was always in my room, in front of my camera, in front of my, looking at myself with my hairbrush or whatever.
Right.
But I don't think I knew that I was going to go into it.
Okay.
It was, I think, accidental. In high school, I was in band and I was in choir, but I was, doing my studies as well. And I thought I was going to be a teacher, which I was for a little while. But when I got to college, these opportunities came for me just in little bits and pieces, and met people who were doing what I wanted to do. And it's just something, I think it was deep inside me that I wanted to do it, but I didn't think it was actually possible to do.
And the passion just exudes out of you, even now as I'm sitting here talking to you. But when one listens to your music, I mean, this is somebody that is singing from her soul. How important is that to you to make sure your people are feeling that when they hear you? Oh,
it's really important. I think it's important in anything that you do that people see your passion. And I also think you don't even have to be a great singer. I really don't believe you need to be a great actress or a great singer to show the passion and have people feel it. Because I know some people who are, they're not okay. They're okay. But you can feel what they're trying to say, and identifying. I think when the audience identifies with what you're saying or what you're doing is always, you got it.
Yes, yes. So. When you decided that you were going to step off into this, what did that look like?
I think it wasn't a step off as much as it just I moved into it.
Moved into it.
So
okay.
I was, when I was in college, I was a music major.
Okay.
So I was classically trained. I was a music major thinking I was going into education.
Okay.
But while I was in school, I was in a rock band and different, ensembles.
Different genres. Okay.
Yeah, doing different things. And classically trained, all of that. And just one thing kind of led to another. So, I always tell my husband, I said, I know so many songs that are in my head from even when I was little that I think that was the only thing I could do.
Wow.
It was just always there.
Because that love that you had.
Yeah.
So are you like always getting downloads, new songs, lyrics, music?
I think I have a song for everything. So if the cat died, I'd probably have a song for the cat, There's always something going on.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting, the talent that you carry. Now, what I'm curious about is, because you have a love for so many different styles, if you will, how did the jazz and the scatting become infused within you?
I think jazz was always something that I listened to because my father loved it.
Okay.
So, we had Ella Fitzgerald going on in the house, or, Nancy Wilson, and upstairs I'm playing Motown, and, so I always knew it. I moved out to LA for a little while.
Okay.
And ended up getting jobs in jazz clubs.
Okay.
And I wasn't that good. So
really?
I would just, because I didn't know what I was doing. I hadn't experienced it. So I would just do a ballad or something that was a little jazzy. And before I knew it, I just did a lot of listening, started listening to people that I really liked. And it just kind of moved into that direction. So I think we did a lot of listening and a lot of just trying things. And the jazz is one of those, is a type of music that has to age. Like you can't do it.
Okay, you got to educate us now.
Yeah, you can't do it young. I mean, I think you have to, like you were talking about the feeling and everything, you have to get a little experience.
Live a little.
Live a little.
Okay.
You have to live a little. And I'm always learning something new from another vocalist.
Okay.
So I think even now I still learn from different vocalists that are jazz performers, or different instrumentalists that are jazz performers. I think that it is a type of music that you have to age with.
Now I've heard a few artists say that and I want to hear your take on this, but some of the best songs that have been written have been from those that have gone through some kind of major crisis. Talk about that.
I believe that. I think writers are like that. I think musicians are like that. I think everyone who is in an arts capacity, dancers, I think that their best stuff is when they're going through something. I believe that. And some of the best genre for me is the blues, at least to listen to, because that's people's hurt feelings or whatever going on. And of course that goes into gospel music and everything else. So they're all tied, and I think a lot of it's for feeling.
I agree with you, and it's amazing how you're going through different seasons and you listen to this one particular song, and that is the one song that is just speaking to you directly where you're at.
Right. Absolutely. I have actually heard songs that maybe I didn't relate to at the time, but I could feel that person. I knew where they were coming from. And I'm actually driving, and they'll get to a certain part of the song, and I'm at the corner, and I just, wow.
That was deep.
It was like I felt that.
That's beautiful. One of the other things that I just really find very amazing about you is you are blessed to also perform with your husband.
Yes.
That is amazing.
Yes. We met in college. He's a guitarist. And so most of our college time together was in a rock band, because he's a guitarist, so he plays rock, but he's also a jazz performer now. But we have been performing together since probably my second year of college.
Wow. Now, is he as creative as you are when it comes to playing the guitar?
Oh, absolutely. And he's smarter than I am.
He's smarter than you are?
Yeah.
Shout out to your fabulous husband.
He's smarter than I am.
Wow.
But yeah, he is. And we play off of each other a lot. Sometimes it's just guitar and voice.
Okay.
And we'll just do a duo, or we'll play with a band or whatever. But we have a lot of fun just playing off of the two of us.
I think that's what I like about you, is that you make doing what you do look fun. Yeah. And the energy.
Because it is.
Yeah, look at that smile. Isn't she beautiful?
It is fun. It is very fun.
Absolutely. Now, your music has afforded you the opportunity to travel the world, and you've been up there on stage with some of the big names. What has that experience been like for you?
Amazing, amazing. And
Talk about that.
well, I've worked with Ray Charles. He came here to Grand Rapids and did a fundraiser, and I put a band together and we opened for him. And that was just, we could not believe that was actually happening.
I'm singing for Ray Charles.
I know, I could not believe it. One of my first jobs is I was a backup singer for an actress named Connie Stevens. Some people who are old enough would remember.
Okay.
Connie Stevens she's still around. That was fun. Linda Hopkins. I met them all while I was living in Los Angeles and sang with them. It's a different type of thing because when you're singing backup for someone, you are not the center of it.
Okay.
You are there to support the backup, you know, to do the harmonies.
Okay.
But it was exciting to go to, we were in Atlantic City with Connie Stevens and of course here with Ray Charles, even though that was my gig to open for him. But people weren't there to see me, they were there to see him. Yeah, so that was fun. And I've been to China, so I had a 4-month job in China right after 9/11. Actually, which was a crazy time. But
I'm sure it was.
yeah, but it was such a wonderful experience to be around another group of people that you don't really relate to that much, but they love jazz as well. So it's really, that was a great experience.
Wow.
Yeah.
You've also, I read, you've did something with Michael Bolton.
I did some backup stuff for Michael Bolton too. Yeah.
He's phenomenal.
He was here. Yeah. And back in the day, he was the guy.
He was the guy. He was the guy.
He was the guy. Yeah.
Now, I'm curious because when you sing backup and then you go to being what do you call it when people are coming to see you?
Oh, I guess
the main
attraction.
Yeah.
I guess, or main act.
How do you make that transition?
Well, for me, I don't think it's that difficult because I just like singing in general.
Okay.
I know that there's a film out right now about backup singers who have been who always wanted to be, you know, the main attraction. And I think in Hollywood, in LA, that's a very difficult thing. Once you're a backup, you kind of stay in that, and it's hard to fight. But because I'm here, just the opportunity to do all these different things, I think in the Midwest, it's more of an opportunity. So I love all of it. Someone wants me to sing backup for them.
You don't have a problem with it.
I don't have a problem with it.
I love that. I love that. And we were talking to someone earlier, and we were talking about authenticity. And in the work that you do, Edye, how important is it for you to be authentic in your music, and even when you're, you know, in person doing live events or talk shows?
So, I guess I'm not sure what the question is.
Authenticity. How important is it to you to make sure that
people are honest with how they present themselves?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's real important because I think people know right away when you're not.
Absolutely.
They do. They do. I don't know how to be anything else but me. Maybe if I was in New York or LA, I'd be a different person. I don't know, but
I think you would be who we see right here.
Okay. I would hope so. I would hope so. But, you know, sometimes people have to act certain ways, you know, to be in certain places. But I like being around people, and I don't like to be in a situation where people are put off by me because it doesn't help my performance, doesn't help any of that. I like being part of everybody.
I love that. Absolutely love that. Now, you have 3 CDs out right now. You have Cabaret, Girl Talk, and Magic in His Eyes.
Yes.
I used to think back in the day that I was going to be a singer, but God obviously had a different plan for me. But what does that mean to you to have music that someone can actually put in a CD player and play?
It's fun. I mean, I think the first time I heard my CD on the radio, it was surprising to me. Really? It was a little shocking. That's me. At first, I don't think I even knew it was me.
Were you by yourself when it happened?
No, my husband was in the car with me, and we were like, that's you, isn't it? And I'm like, oh, it is. It's fun. I love it that people want it. I think the first album that I did, it was someone said, you should just do an album. I'm like, nobody wants an album of mine. Who would want that? But I did it. Someone gave me some money, so I did it. And I sold them. So I think years ago it was not that easy to do your own album.
Okay.
And now everyone does it, you know, so it's not a big thing, but it is fun. And it's the time you spend in the studio, you can become very creative, which I like.
I'm sure. So you are also a talented actress, a woman of many gifts. And there was something special that happened to you in 1983, maybe before you knew you were going to become an actress. Somebody named Cedric Ward did something. Talk about that.
Well, Cedric ran a black theater company in town called Toresa Players. And if I'm telling this story, is it the first show that I ever did? The first play I ever did was actually a musical called Amos Behavin', if this is it.
That's it.
And someone had told me that they were having auditions for it, and I had just come back from Los Angeles, basically, and someone invited me, and they said, you should go audition, and I thought,
yeah, right.
Right. So I went anyway, and it was the first show I got in, and it was amazing show. It is an amazing show anyway, but the cast was amazing, and I got bit. Basically, I just started doing theater like crazy all through the 90s. And
so you never thought about, prior to that time, had you not ever thought about going into acting?
No.
Wow.
No.
That speaks volumes. So he saw something in you that you didn't even see in yourself.
And to be honest, I think he saw things in a lot of people. And he was trying to encourage people to go into theater and to tell their stories and have some, especially black theater, be done here in the city that hadn't been done before. And he was a real, trailblazer when it comes to something like that. So there's a bunch of us that got an opportunity through Cedric to do that.
That is amazing.
Yeah, it was great.
So here you are now with Ebony Road Players, and I'm going to let you talk about it, but I think you're sitting in that seat now also, and you are seeing different gifts and talents in people that maybe they didn't even see in themselves.
Right, and we haven't had that theater, Robeson, since the 90s, and we found that there was a deficit in black theater, a deficit in just theater for people of color in general, or disenfranchised people who don't get a chance to go to the big theater things that are going in any of the arts community. So we decided, some friends of mine and myself decided to try to start a theater company. We don't know what we're doing, but we're doing it anyway.
We just know we're going to do it.
We just know we're going to do it. And we had our first play, full-length play this summer, called Blackbird. We had it. We had it written. And it was a great show that we used to talk about this court case that happened in 1967, Loving versus Virginia, Supreme Court case. And we wanted to highlight that Supreme Court case and then have families, our multiracial, multicultural families, have a place to come and see a show. So we want to take different issues and be able to write a play around it and encourage playwrights here in town to do stuff like that too.
Now, for those who are watching this show who may not be familiar with the case that you just shared, can you just kind of highlight the significance of that? The
significance of it was, this was a couple in Virginia who got married in Washington, D.C., Richard and Mildred Loving. They were an interracial couple in Virginia in the 1950s. Of all places. In the 1950s. They got married in Washington, D.C., but when they came back to Virginia, they found out it was illegal, and they were actually put in jail for it. And this went on and on and on until it actually went to the Supreme Court. So it was the first marriage case, kind of like the marriage case we just went through, and actually they used that case for the marriage case that happened this past summer. Just giving people their civil rights. And, they were just a couple, Southern couple who just wanted to be married.
Right, because love has no color.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
How was that play received, you know, this past summer?
It was really awesome. We had a lot of families who are in that situation either through adoption or interracial marriage, biracial children, and people really, they took to it. And I had one family actually say that the grandmother said they had never talked about the fact that the kids were biracial, and that was the first time that they had actually talked about it after they saw the show.
Wow.
Yeah, and then we saw the movie too. There's a HBO film about it that we showed the film, and then we had people talk about it afterwards. We had a little talk back, you know, talk back issue with it. So it was really, I think it was good, and we're going to do it again this coming summer. We're going to do something else during that time.
I love that. So with Ebony Road Theater, what was the reason that you really wanted to put something like this together for people in this community?
Like I said, there was a deficit in theater for people of color. There's a deficit in, we don't see a lot of black playwrights. And then it's grown to the fact that we just want to be a voice for people who don't normally get a voice. And what started it was there was a lot of kids who were out not being creative. There was a lot of gun violence going on. And I thought, what are we not doing? And we're not really offering any arts for them, which sometimes people say it's kind of flippant. But when you're able to create and you're able to express, I think you find ways to deal with your problems other than being out in the street.
You know, I'm amazed. I really applaud that response because it's making me think about my daughter, our middle daughter. She's very creative, very extremely creative. And, you know, there's been this moment where, you know, there's been this label that has been, I won't allow this label to be placed on her. She just learns differently. But she's very creative. She loves singing. She loves dancing. She has taken drawing to a whole nother level, so I'm expecting her to be an art prize one day really soon. So I think having this type of venue available to people of color is so important.
It is.
What are some of the, now how are people finding out about you or finding out about Ebony Road?
Well, we have a Facebook page, of course. We have a website. And people who aren't able to get to either one of those things like this, television shows and radio shows and things like that. So that's basically, we are doing a lot of staged readings, which are kind of pared down shows at Aquinas and at Hope College. And we're at one elementary school right now where we're teaching. And we have classes at Wealthy Street Theater for adults.
Yes, you do.
We do.
Something just happened November 7th, maybe?
Yeah, we had a class, an acting class, and we're going to have a relaxation and affirmation class coming up on the 12th to help people who want to audition. How do I relax? How do I prepare for going to that big audition? So we're just having those types of things too for adults, because we know there's a lot of adults who like to do that kind of stuff too.
What's on the horizon, you think, for Ebony Road as you continue to move forward?
Well, what we're doing right now is we're going to expand our education program. We are getting into more social justice issues. So we're actually going to have the abilities to write plays for people who have for communities that have something to say, who need to get their voice out. And a main stage play. We were talking about your show you saw the other day, and we want to do something like that as well.
I love it. I love it. And she's alluding to The Wiz was on, and you know, she's going to do some things over in that area.
Yes.
And I just think that is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
It will be fun. Now, I know someone who has been a part of the theater. And I can say her name. She won't mind. Miss Sarita Drake.
Yes.
Awesome spoken word artist as well. And she just raved about participating in this theater.
She was wonderful, and I think that was her first theatrical. I mean, she's done her spoken word, and she has her book out. She's just, I love her.
She's a talented
absolutely
young
love
lady.
her. And she did she was in our very first staged reading we did for Color Girls. And she was cute. She loved it. And so we went on a show together, and I loved her spirit. I just loved it.
She's amazing.
So I'm hoping she does more.
She's amazing. So I want to ask you this question, Edye, because you are a role model for young black women like myself and those that are even younger than me. What would be a word of wisdom that you could share with us that would help us or cause us to stand strong in who we are as black women?
I think accepting yourself is the first thing. Finding what you love and going for it. And find that spiritualness that keeps you centered. I think are the three things.
Oh, wow.
That, for me, works for me.
Wow. Is that something that your mother helped instill in you, or did you just, you know, as life happened?
I think as life happens, but my mother was a teacher.
Okay.
And
so it's just in your DNA.
It just, oh yeah. Both my parents were both teachers. My brother is a teacher. Yeah.
You couldn't get away from it.
Couldn't get away from it. It was one of those things where we knew we were going to college. No one said that no one said that was not even.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It wasn't a choice. You know, we were going. But my mother, I think, instilled a respect for herself and a respect for whatever you want to do. This is what you need to do, and that's what I love about her.
Wow, I think what you're doing is so important, and we know that the music is important and theater is important. But I really believe just you being that strong force is something that is needed, and it's encouraging for at least me, for that matter, to be able to see that there's somebody out there that looks like me right here in the city of Grand Rapids.
And thank you. But it was helpful to me too. I mean, when I started to see people like me doing things that maybe someone said, "Oh, girl, you can't do that. You can't do that." And when I started saying, "Well, yeah, I can." It just makes you jump off and do it.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So listen, you know, our time is coming to a close, and I don't want to let you go, but I know I got to get ready to let you go. If there was that one thing that you could share to somebody right now who has a dream and they're not quite sure if they can make it happen, what would you say?
I would say find someone who does it and hold on to their shirt tails and go.
Okay. There you had it. Let the folks know where they can go for more information about Ebony Road or the music.
Right.
Put it all out there.
All right. You can find out about Ebony Road Players on ebonyroad.org. You can find me on Facebook, Edye Evans Hyde. I have 3 pages. One is a very political page, so you want to go to
yes, I know that page.
You can go to my music page. It's probably a lot easier. Those are probably the 2 places to find where I'm going to be.
Okay. Well, listen, Ms. Hyde, this has been an awesome time. I have just enjoyed you. Thank you for being on the show.
Well, thank you for having me. This is wonderful. Thank you. I appreciate it. You
are so welcome. Well, that's it, everyone. We had an awesome time with the jazz legend, jazz vocalist, Edye Evans Hyde. Listen, just Google her, because I'm so excited right now. I can't remember everything she just said. So just Google Edye Evans Hyde and you can find everything that you need. And remember, as Coach TMB always says, to live your best life in life now. Until next time, peace.
You don't know what love is till you learn the meaning of the blues, till you've loved a love and had to lose. You don't know what love is. You don't know how lips hurt until you kissed and had to pay the cost, till you flipped your heart and you have lost. You don't know what love is. Do you know how a lost heart fears at the